Okay, so if you want to take part in this next exercise, you need to be sitting on one of the tables. We're looking for between 4 and 8 people to be on each table, so we certainly need another 2 or 3 down here. We need another 2 or 3 down here. That would be great. If we can have the gamified presentation up on the slides, that'd be great as well. And we're going to do this at speed. The very last slide talks about how I do this when we're doing it for money. And of course, then it takes a lot longer because then it looks like it's worth a lot more money. So please come on down, as I think they say in TV land. And if we could have the slide deck up, that would be great. What you will find, please look on your table, there's a little pile of papers. The top one is a scorecard. If you pick the scorecard up, that means you are the leader. Okay, you are the leader. You will need to make some notes and you're going to make some decisions. And here we are, super. Okay, it is not possible to tell the future. That's the most important thing about futuring. You can't tell what the future is going to be. And there are some great books on this, the Long Now Foundation, Short History of the Future, several books. And what they talk about is stop trying to always be right and try to never be wrong. I can look at that map just there, and I can't tell you which of the 4 valleys the ball will run down, but I can tell you that most of the time it's going to run down one of those 4 valleys. So I'm going to create scenarios that are going to give me some early warning and an indication of which valley it goes down, and then I'll have a response. And if I have to have a red ball prevention and fixing centre, I'm going to have one of them ready for each of those 4 valleys. So we're going to create scenarios, and we've got to find out where the valleys are, and then we work around how we respond to them. So on every single table, there are a set of tools. And if you look at those tools, we have got things on there like adaptive discrete choice modelling for Steve and I. Steve Nadell sitting at this front table here. Big data analytics, biometric responses, brain science. You can write things in as well. If you want to put voice analytics, which I don't think is on the list, by all means do that. So what we're going to do, 1 team per table, we've done that. 4 to 10 people per table, we've done that. This is going well. We've got the leader selected, a note taker. You can come up with a name for your team. If you don't want to come up with a name, you can call yourself Team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, for the more quantitative people in the room. What I want you to try to do are 3 missions. Now, we're a little bit short of time, so we may not get through 3 missions, but we will start. So, I want you to pick mission 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the leader is going to read it out to you in just a moment. So that is what you've got to try to solve as a research problem. And all you have to do is pick which 2 out of those 30 approaches you're going to use. Write them down on your scorecard after discussing the ones that the leader decides are the ones you agreed on. This is not a democracy. The leader will decide which ones you agreed on. And write down a brief description of why you did it. So that's what I want you to start doing now. Hi. I'm going to finish on time even though we started late.
Okay.
Because then otherwise we won't be able to do the next one on time.
So you're just gonna.
Make it shorter.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Great. Thank you.
Okay, if I can just stop you for 1 second. I just want the leader from the first few tables to say how many more minutes you think your table needs.
We're done, right?
Couple of minutes. Couple of minutes. 30 seconds. Okay, well, you guys can just keep talking. In about another minute, I'll tell you where we're going next. Have you written in your tweet reasons, Steve? Have you written in the tweeted reasons? You know what Twitter is, don't you? Okay, if I could just have your attention for a second. We have a couple of tables who finished that stage. What you're doing is you're writing that down. We are going to gather in all these sheets at the end of this session. We're going to gather in all the sheets at the end of the next session. And obviously, we're going to see some trends about which are the tools that people keep doing for different scenarios. We're going to build a picture. We'll put that back later in the comments. So once you finish a mission, choose another mission. And if you are a qualitative researcher, choose it randomly from the remaining ones. But if you're a quantitative researcher, use some arbitrary system of simply picking one. So carry on with the first one if you're still on the first one. When you finish the first one, move on to a second one, and who knows, maybe a third one too. Important factor. Sorry, everyone, important factor. When you pick the second mission, both of the tools you've already selected are still available. So you're adding 2 tools to the 2 you've already got, which is a different decision-making process. And remember, you've got whatever you picked on the first 2 still available. That's fine.
So I think we've got, kind of feels like okay. Checked in.
So you're picking two, you keep the tools you chose previously, and you add these tools to it. So you've got a bigger and bigger set.
That's an American thing. First approved.
You done 2 missions?
Got to.
Right, you can do up to 4. At that point, you get fined.
All right. Testing alternative cereal. IIeX cereals targeted at adults. For example, low sugar, high roughage, and is looking to revamp the brand of packages. There are 4 designs which can be displayed in those images. There's 3D objects, or it's mocked up real designs. Face-to-face research. They want to understand purchase intent, likes and dislikes, and reactions.
Okay, Steve, you've got 30 seconds to tell them why I'm laughing at you.
It's virtual
So you just squeeze through a sec.
Just trying to figure out exactly what we're supposed to be doing here. We put out 2 missions on our own. Mission number 2, I think we assigned. Mission number 7, we selected.
Yeah.
New
So,
idea.
so now you do another one. Oh, you've not written in what's the...
So this is ethnography, and this is
Yeah.
a co-creation community.
I wonder what the name was supposed to be. Oh, that was supposed to be... Oh, that was going to be the number.
Oh, this
And
just
that's
goes
the
here.
name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they
That's
kind of
fine.
combined it all in
Yeah,
one, so-
that's fine. We can work that out. So just pick another mission, but this time you've got all of these as available. So which 2 things would you then add to all 4 of those techniques to meet the next mission? So you pick another mission, either randomly or one that you quite like the look of.
Okay, but pick 7 different tools there. Is that what you're saying? Or
No,
use
no,
the
no.
same
You've got those tools available to you.
those pointers, okay?
Now we're going to add 2 tools to that to make it even easier or even better or even faster or even cheaper. So you'll have 6 tools available. You won't necessarily be using them all. Okay, you've done 3. That's excellent. Okay, we've got about another 2 minutes, everybody. So, be finishing the one you're on. Can I just have the handheld? Can you just borrow the handheld? I want the tables just to speak to me, so I want the handheld for a moment. Thanks. Okay, about 1 more minute.
Weight?
I'll tell you a funny story about that. Okay, everybody. Now we're just very quickly going to run around the tables and do a very informal version of what I will be doing more formally this evening when you're all having fun. So if we could just have a little hush for the leaders. Steve, I just want you to read down the tools and approaches you chose in the order you chose them. No reasons, just what they were.
Okay, virtual reality, smartphone ethnography, crowdsourcing, an online survey, and virtual reality.
Right, and now if you could read them from the top, that'd be good. Who's the...
We got a little bogged down, so we only have 2.
That's good.
So we have social media analytics, online community, mobile diaries and surveys, geofencing and tagging.
Thank you.
We have geofencing, big data analytics, digital and in-person ethnography, mobile diaries, biometrics, and crowdsourcing.
Excellent.
Social listening, crowdsourcing, eye checking, shopper inquiry, eye tracking, video focus groups.
Thank you very much. So we can see quite a few patterns emerging, which is good.
Co-creation, online surveys, facial analysis, neuromarketing, online survey, text analytics, mobile survey, social media analytics.
Thanks.
Smart hotel, mobile diary, ethnography, co-creating community, biometric, online discussion.
Super. Thanks. And
we have a similar long list, but our short is biometric for System 1 reasons and gamification for engagement reasons.
super.
Wearable technology, adaptive discrete choice, gamification, and social media analytics.
The nerd in me loves the fact that the discrete choice came through.
Online insight community, adaptive discrete choice modeling, biometric response, and social media analysis.
Of course, since my company sells community, I should be more delighted with that, but still. Who's that?
All inside community search. Mobile diaries, online surveys, facial analysis, social media analytics, virtual reality, geofencing, tagging.
Okay, thank you so much. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through those later, pull those reasons together, and we'll produce a mini report, probably in PowerPoint. No, just joking. Bringing back some of that information. What we have done if we had longer, we would have tailored the missions to the sorts of things your company does, obviously. Now, one of the great things about these sorts of sessions is that you've got people from different countries and different backgrounds and different experiences. So it's quite useful to think about their sorts of problems. Longer on the missions would be fuller. You'd work on building them up and then talking about all the stages of solving the problem. Give the teams more missions is another way that you would look at that during a day. But after each round, making them surrender tools. Possibly putting a price on the tools, so that you have to pay more to use this tool or that tool. Putting a timeline on some of those tools to say, well, you can get this really quickly. Or maybe you can have 3 tools if you don't do them really well, or 1 tool done well. These sorts of explorations. And then, once we get to the end of that process, particularly if we're talking to an insight team or if we're talking to an agency, to assess what their toolkit is. Because I've done a lot of work with innovative companies, and basically there are 2 types of companies around. There are companies that follow everybody and don't innovate at all, and there are companies who take a small number of things and innovate like crazy on those and follow everybody else on the rest. You can't innovate every single process every single day. There are some companies that are not around that have tried that. They're not in business. So how do we get a relevant toolkit that's going to mean that we can respond to different sorts of missions and take that through? So hopefully you'll have found that useful. You will also now be able to go for lunch, and I know 1 or 2 people were beginning to feel really quite pecky. So give yourself a round of applause.